turning to another big story now. The complaints about utility rates continue to pour into our newsroom.
National Grid customers, you're telling us that your bill has doubled, even tripled from the price that you were paying this time last year. Now, our investigative reporter, Jennifer Lewke, has been getting the real deal on these rates for months now. Today, she sat down for an exclusive interview with the head of the State Public Service Commission, the regulators who are tasked with making sure that we're not getting ripped off here. And Jen, what did they have to say about these huge bills we're seeing?
Well, Dory, the PSC has been getting pounded with calls from upset customers, too. According to the chairwoman, it's not National Grid that we should be blaming for the prices that we've been paying. It's the wholesalers and suppliers who sell to National Grid that they say we should be pointing our finger at. She recently met with federal regulators to ask them to investigate those companies for possible price fixing, and that investigation is now underway.
We're getting a lot of calls.
The PSC says it has looked through National Grid's books, and the utility is simply passing along the rates it's paying for the supply of gas and electric to us. The companies that sell to Grid, though, well, the chairwoman isn't sure they've been operating in the best interest of us customers.
Let's make sure we know who made money and make sure that they made it fairly. And if not, let's go after them for that.
While federal regulators work the case, state regulators are working with National Grid to see if the utility can make changes to how it prepares for winter heating season in the future.
Have you asked the utilities to look at how much they hedge for winter and how much they buy on the open market and how that can affect consumer prices?
Yes. Yeah, we're looking. We actually, one of our inquiries, one of the things we're working at with National Grid as well as the other utilities is looking at their practices of how much they buy firm to protect customers from this type of price volatility.
Because while the number of sub-zero days and nights and winter storms was high this winter, this is upstate New York, and these winters may very well become the new norm.
Should it be unusual that we should say, well, this won't happen again, we don't have to worry about it? I'm taking the position is that, like we saw with the summer storms, this may not be unusual. This may be what we're looking at in terms of climate change and things like that.
Now, another big factor here, Liz, is that has been determining these rates is the stress on the transmission lines here in New York State. It's particularly bad here in the capital region, actually, and that impacts us even more than other folks in different parts of the state. We're going to have more on that part of it coming up tonight at 6.
And I know you know, Jen, that really our Facebook page has been just blowing up with questions about all this. We've got one here we want to share with you. It comes to us from a woman named Rita, and here's what she wrote to us. It's just not National Grid. My son lives in Mechanicville and has NYSEG, and his bill has doubled as well. Is it worth considering an alternate supplier? So that's an excellent question, but what do you think?
Yeah, well, Rita's right on both of those cases, really. National Grid is not the only utility facing this. As a matter of fact, in Western Massachusetts, customers just got notices from their utility company saying, oh, we didn't buy enough, now you have to make up the difference of prices. So everyone's seeing it. A thing to keep in mind when you're considering an ESCO, though, an energy service company, is that they will supply you the energy, but normally they're still within a few cents of National Grid, and National Grid will still deliver it. So you just want to make sure you do your homework if you decide that you want to switch, and you can do that on the Public Service Commission's website.
All right. Thank you for that very much.